Hello and welcome back to Home Zomewhere Else. We will be continuing where we left off as usual, and that is, if you recall, right after Chad left with Thony to take him to school. But right before that, though, the mom Kathy was having a little thoughts to herself about how perhaps what she's doing with Chad, maybe bringing him home or whatever, might not be such a good idea. So yeah, I'm recording this like a few hours after it came out, so I most of what happens here is new to me, so I haven't played it. So yeah. Anyways, let's start. This way, Mr. Chad. We're going to go through the park. It's the fastest way to school. All right, boss. Lead the way. The two of you stroll through the park. The air is crisp and refreshing today. The rain may have chilled the air, but the morning sun is as bright as ever. Perfect jogging weather to say the least. As the two of you make your way down a familiar path, you walk by an intersection and spot an old, decrepit house down the road to your left. Your smile begins to fade. It's scary to think that so much happened in less than 24 hours. Are you okay, Mr. Chad? You look down at Thony, who looks worried compared to his usual carefree demeanor. It's nothing. Don't worry about it, okay? Is that the place you got kicked out of? What? How did you? Well, you told us about it yesterday, remember? It matches how you described it and the trash bags are still there. You also looked really sad when you saw the place. The small kitten points at the waterlogged trash bags on the front lawn, lazily flapping about on the grass in the distance. The shady figure from yesterday morning is standing in the shade, smoking a cigarette. At least you think it's tobacco. Before you can stare for too long, Thony tugs on your hand to get your attention. Well, you hit the nail on the head, that's for sure. Are you secretly a master detective? You're too young to be noticing things like that. The small kitten zips his lips with emotion before smiling at you. I have been watching a lot of crime shows though. My favorites are Paw and Order and First Scene Investigation. Apparently they're making another spin-off show. Really? I'm surprised that show is still going. I used to watch that show a long time ago. I've also been playing lots of detective games too. I really like the idea of being a detective when I grow up, so I've been trying to be observant, looking at how kids at school act around each other. I do this at the park too. It's kinda like Phoenix Wright Pro Attorney. They always find the culprit and find the truth using the small details. You played Phoenix Wright too? Yeah, but only the first one though. I don't have any money to buy more consoles. I used to own a Nintendo DS a long time ago along with the original trilogy. I hope we can play them one day. They're pretty great games overall. Yeah, I do too. But thanks to my detective skills and from what I've learned about you, I was able to deduce that you were homeless. Didn't I tell them I was homeless when we met? Well, I'm not anymore thanks to you, kid. Thony. Sure thing. Thanks, Thony. Before you two know it, you have made it to the steps of the stone pathway from yesterday. Let's head through the park, Mr. Chad. As you make your way past the front entrance, you notice it's a lot livelier in the mornings when the sun is in full display. You assume people must be afraid of visiting in the evenings. Oh, I didn't get a chance to tell you this, Thony. Tell me what? This is kind of late, but it's really nice to meet you. The small kitten glances at you with a confused smile, unsure of what you meant. But Mr. Chad, you already said that yesterday at this very park. Did you forget? Oh, I did? The kitten nods as the two of you continue down the walkway, passing by the bench from yesterday. This memory loss thing is messing up my mind. Well, anyways, I'm really glad we got to meet you too, Mr. Chad. We finally found someone who could help us. Help us? What do you mean by help us? Do you know how big this park is, Mr. Chad? It seems so big since it's connected to the woods. He didn't even try to answer my question. He straight up avoided it altogether. Yeah, well, The forest is basically endless. I think it was a few 100,000 acres last time I checked. Most cities stick to the coastlines, so there's nothing really in the woods, not even other towns or logging camps. Whoa, neat! How do you know there's nothing there? Well, at my old job, we had to look at the maps to see where to chop down good timber. Not to mention, I've been in the forest a few times. Oof. Your conversation is halted as you bump into someone, making them drop a few items to the ground. Thankfully, nothing looks damaged. Sorry, sir. My bad. I didn't see you there. You quickly crouch down to help the strangely robed man collect his stuff. A medkit, alcohol, and bandages? Not what I'd expect someone to be walking around with, at least not without a bag. Worry not, Mr. Chad. The robed figure tries to assist you, but you're already done before he can grab an item off the stone floor. Huh? Does this guy know me? You hand over the stuff to the stranger as he gently receives it. Thank you. You're just like I imagined. You shoot a glance at Thony, who looks very perturbed by this man's demeanor. Come find me if you ever need me. The man gives you a strange bow, emotion barely visible on his face before returning to his original route. What on earth is this guy talking about? When did this town get so many weirdos? Come on, Thony, let's go. You continue your walk with the kitten, hurrying along as the two of you speed walk away. The farther that man is from Thony, the better. After you two are relatively far from where the conversation happened, you look at each other with confusion written on your faces. I'm gonna guess you don't know that guy at all. Thony sure is sharp. I don't think I do, but I guess he knows me alright, considering he called me by my name and had no problem spouting weird nonsense. The kitten scratches his chin for a few seconds before shrugging his shoulders and smiling. Well, it doesn't matter. Let's keep going, Mr. Chad. You don't look very concerned about that guy. Are people like that common around here? The kitten squints his eyes while rubbing a flowing, imaginary beard. Mr. Chad, I'm 9 years old. I've seen a lot of weird things in this life. Oh yeah? Like what, old man? Well, yesterday I saw a weird Doberman give this prized hat to a handsome young cat. Weird Doberman, huh? You mess up with his hat playfully. Hey! The kitten snaps out of his old man charade and clasps his hands over his hat. The two of you smile and laugh before continuing on your way. You and Thony trek through the park. The rest of the path is at an incline. The back of your legs start to ache as you press on. You're surprised to see that you were led up the scenic route, being greeted by a long cliffside view of the town. The stone walkway led you up a hillside terrace, complete with stone guardrails and benches. Thony holds your hand and brings you to the guardrail. The view allows you to see most of the city. Look there, Mr. Chad. It's our house! Yeah, I can see that. The area east of Marimambo is full of residential houses and is coupled with the central plaza. The south is mainly just the port, and of course, the endless sea. West of the city has the main road leading out of town towards the cool logs, and besides the mountains, there's nothing but deep, unending forest. There really is nothing in those woods. You look north to see some more housing, with a commercial district to the right of them. It doesn't take long for Thony to be tugging on your hand once more. Let's keep going, we're close! The two of you make your way down the hill. It's definitely a lot easier this time around. You continue down one of the stone pathways and are quickly greeted by the park's northern entrance. The two of you continue through the walkway. It surprises you how high the city gets considering the two of you don't have to go down the hill. The park's northern entrance quickly approaches and bookends the path. The school's right around the corner. It takes literally one turn and soon the school is in view, no more than a couple minutes away from the park. Wow, you weren't kidding. It's right there. It's close enough that we usually go on field trips here. That sounds like a lot of fun. I bet you and your friends have a great time here. All the hills to roll down, and the bridge must be fun to race. Friends? Thony looks at you with a disheartened gaze. Whatever you said hurt him more than you expected it to. I, um, I'm sorry, Thony. I didn't mean to. Nah, it's okay. I'm used to it. How long have you been by your... We're here. Thony. You're in front of the school's gate. A lot of kids are running to enter. A big old lion wearing glasses is standing there. He looks like the principal. Can you give my mom a call? Sure. You reach into your pocket and pull out the phone. It's remarkably thin and light. It feels like a piece of glass compared to the plastic bricks you're used to. Let's see... How on earth do I turn this thing on? Is it the 2 buttons on the side? The button on the top, or... Don't you know how to use a phone, Mr. Chad? Well... Phones really have changed a lot since I last used one. Back then, they actually had buttons and numbers. I don't think I've ever used a phone like this before. You notice the kitten give you an uncomfortably inquisitive look, almost as if he was looking at a puzzle with missing pieces. The look doesn't last long. He shrugs before smiling once more. Well, have no fear, Mr. Chad. Let a master teach you the ways of the smartphone. You hold the phone towards Thony, a little embarrassed that something as easy as calling someone needs to be explained to you. Thony huddles next to you and shows you what each button does and how to unlock the phone. It's a truly befuddling experience at first, but it doesn't take long for you to learn how to access the contacts list. Then you touch the screen where it says call. The kitten taps the screen, which is something you're still struggling to wrap your head around. It has all the buttons you've ever needed and more, but it's a solid piece of glass, so how on earth does it feel where your fingers are touching? Since we both want to hear, you press the speaker buttons and... Hello? Hiya, Mom. We're just letting you know that we got to school safely. I'm glad to hear that, baby. I'll let you guys go since I have... Wait, Mom. I need you to talk to Mr. Lorenzo. The two of you pace to an elderly-looking lion who seems distracted by the students and parents bustling around him. Good morning, Mr. Lorenzo. Good morning, Mr. Reyes. And good morning, good sir. The man adjusts his glasses and looks over the two of you with an inquisitive look. Good morning, sir. Can I help you with something, Mr. Reyes? Thony nudges you with his elbow and nods towards the phone in your hand. You quickly nod and hold it close to the bespectacled man. Mom? Good morning, Mr. Lorenzo. Thony's mom speaking. Mr. Chad here is going to pick up Thony today. Oh, why, hello, Kathy. Thank you very much for letting me know. You're very welcome, and thank you for looking out for Thony. The elderly lion nods approvingly at the two of you. You can't help but feel a little welcomed by this man. He's refined and courteous, but there isn't a hint of pretension to him. I've got to get going, Mom. I'm going to be late for class. Okay, sweetie. Have a good day. And thank you, Chad. Laters. With the call finished, you put the phone back into the safety of your pocket. You've got this in the bag. Have a great day, champ. Thony fist bumps you with his signature smile. Thanks. You too, bro. Be sure to pick me up at 5 p.m. See you later, Thony. See ya. You rest your weight on the entrance gate as the kitten runs into the large school. Before you leave, Mr. Lorenzo sees you off with a bow and a smile. You wave back to the lion before walking away from the gate. Okay, so what now? With your main objective accomplished, you're left wandering adrift with no clear direction. You casually stroll on the sidewalk, heading further from the school. Well, I have no money, so I can't really go to many places. If that's the case, I should look for any place that is hiring unskilled labor. Whoa! Something hard and heavy charges into you from behind, striking the back of your head. You try your damnedest to remain on equal footing, but you lose your balance and land flat on your ass. Toto would probably be disappointed. You're just glad he's not here to mourn your cheeks. Unless the same box that struck your head collides on your other head, landing firmly on your crotch. Hey, watch where you're going! The voice is remarkably rude considering they crashed into you. You rub your scalp to alleviate the pain. The damn thing must have hit you with a corner. Oh shoot. Bro, are you okay? This time around, the voice seems a lot more cordial. You look up to see a white rabbit who quickly places two massive cardboard boxes on the ground. The young woman approaches you with an outstretched arm. Yes, I. Hey, would you be so kind as to give me. Before you can grab it, her hand points to your crotch. That package? You're taken aback, shocked even, for less than half a second as you understand what she actually meant. You hand her the comparatively small box between your legs. Thanks! Sorry. No worries, mate. Let me help you out. Still, try to be more careful next time, or you might get hurt. I'm sorry again, and will do. Hold up. What? The white rabbit gently extends her hands once again. This time, you're able to accept it. She's remarkably strong as she pulls you up. That or your diet of eating virtually nothing is making you a lot lighter. Alright, see you next time, Mr. Muscle Doby Boy. You shake your head with a smirk while dusting yourself off. Shit! The thin rabbit uses all of her might to lift up the two massive boxes. You need some help with that? Remarkably, she's able to fully lift the boxes above her waist once again. It quickly becomes apparent that the two tall boxes are completely blocking her line of sight. There's no way that she can see where she's going. Don't worry, I got this. It doesn't take more than a couple of seconds for her to find her next victim. Whoa! She runs into another poor soul from behind. The man stumbles forward, his phone bouncing and sliding on the asphalt sidewalk with a bone-chilling crunch. Hey, watch where you're going! What the hell? You made me drop my phone! How about you watch where you're going next time? Huh? Excuse me? You're the one staring at your phone instead of looking where you're walking! She's got to be joking, right? He was just standing in front of her and she crashed into him. Why you... You quickly help the two of them, picking up the man's phone from the ground. You hand it to him, but he's too pissed to be appreciative, stomping in a furious rage past the two of you. The rabbit shrugs the argument off, looking content at her ill-gotten victory. She picks up the boxes once again and starts on her route once more. You look down the sidewalk and see two poor souls ahead, walking towards the rabbit this time around. You've got to do something. Let me help you with those boxes. It's no sweat off my back. She halts her walking and looks back to you. Well, if you insist, my shop's really close to here. She hands you the two massive boxes into your awaiting arms. She keeps the lightest of the packages to herself. Just be careful with those. Good God, these are way heavier than I thought. I can barely carry them. Something wrong, buddy? The rabbit turns to you with a marginally concerned look. You're not sure if it's genuine, however. No, nothing at all. Well then, let's get going. It's only 2 streets away. The rabbit strolls with a carefree demeanor while you're left lugging the packages. You're just glad to see that no one else will fall victim to her boxes. The two of you cross the road and set forth down a street leading back to the park. You recognize this route. It's headed to a more commercial area of town. She has a shop in the market street? So, how about we get to know one another, shall we? Sure thing. You quickly adjust the heavy boxes in your arms, worried that you might drop them on your feet. So, Muscle Doby Boy, you got a name? Chad Harmon. What about you? I'm Jenny, but you can call me Big Package Girl. She turns and winks at you coyly. I'll just stick to Jenny, thanks. Harmon, where have I heard that name before? What do you mean by that? It's nothing, don't worry about it. So, tell me, Mr. Muscle Doby Boy. Chad. Yes, Chad. What were you doing before you decided to get your hands on my big package? Well, I took a kid to school. And I was about to start looking for a new job, and A job? She turns to you on a dime, her eyes glowing with enthusiasm, or maybe it's malice. Looking for a job, you say? She skips in place, fanning her hands before pointing one at you. It looks like she's about to pitch you a new car or a weight loss supplement. Oh my gosh, you are so lucky, Muscle Dobby boy. Lucky? Did I ever have any luck to begin with? Nope. Okay, maybe a little. Chad. Because I was just looking for a waiter as muscular and handsome as you. The bunny's knees seem to quiver as she stares you down, head to toe. For a rabbit, she's really looking at you like a piece of meat. What on earth is she thinking about? You're the perfect specimen! You'll attract every kind of client to my cafe! I'm sure you'll do great. Oh my god. Is this the female version of Toto? And here we are! Jenny proudly stands in front of her cafe, striking a pose and beaming with pride. It's a dilapidated building. It literally looks worse than your old apartment. Wooden planks are nailed over the windows with the words "foreclosed" sprayed painted over them. Whoever put these up didn't want people going inside. It isn't surprising considering the neighborhood you were living in a day ago. A barbershop is situated to the left of the cafe, with an older gentleman sweeping up what looks like dust and fur. He's nice enough to wave at the two of you before continuing his work. You wave back before looking to the right of you. A brand new apartment building sits proudly in the morning sunlight, likely home to people who are starting the bright futures ahead of them. Jenny has made her way to the worn front door, rummaging through her pockets. The wood looks like it's made from pallets. It's been there for a few years at least. There are some flyers nailed to the pieces of wood as well, acting as a makeshift bulletin board. Where did I put the keys again? Time has worn out many of the advertisements, with their ink being faded to the point of obscurity. There's old listings for local events, grand openings, flea markets, and missing kids. The maroon "missing" text on one of them catches your eye. The image is mostly torn, a young dog with glasses, smiling. What the hell? Found him! The bunny's voice rips you from your concentration, her enthusiastic waving demanding your full attention. Okay, let me push it in, and here we go! As the door creaks open, light begins to fill the large room. Once you're inside, Jenny turns on the room's lights. Well, here's my baby. The place more than likely used to be a bar. Sadly, no one is going to be getting wasted here. Gaping holes making traversing deeper into this a nightmare. The only flooring that isn't ruined has tables stacked on top of them. The opposite side of the room has some boxes nearby to your left. The bar's tabletop is cracked and splintered, with some old stools still in front of it. Lastly, the back end of the bar has 3 doorways and a staircase leading up to another floor. You can leave the boxes over there, handsome. Thank you so much. You place the massive packages next to the others, glad you don't have to go deep into the bar. Ironically, the boxes Jenny was using as a battering ram on the sidewalk have "fragile" written on them repeatedly. You stretch backwards, glad those boxes are no longer your problem. As you're flexing your muscles, you feel a thin finger poke you from behind. You turn around to face the bunny, who's hopping side to side with something in her hand. You've earned this. You accept the small gift from the bunny's outstretched hands. She blushes as you look it over. Thanks. So, about my offer, are you interested? I'm a little new to this whole starting your own business thing, but I'm sure we could learn together. I can only let you know the details once you accept the offer. Who doesn't give any job details in advance? Before you can say no, she holds one of your hands in hers and looks at you with an admittedly adorable look. Please say yes, Muscle Dobby boy. I need you. She needs me? She barely knows me. Well, she seems nice enough, and a job is a job. I guess I could try. Hell yeah! I swear you won't regret this, Chad. It's Chad. Oh, okay. Alrighty, first things first, the basics. As you can see, this place needs some fixing to be done. Let's make this the best cafe of this goddamn town. Shouldn't we get some contractors in here? This is more than some fixing. Your payment will be $5 an hour while the cafe is closed to the public. Then your payment will be the minimum wage plus tips. And if we do good, I'll see if you deserve a raise or not. Hehehehehe. Wow, that was so much more than I was being paid yesterday. What was that? Nothing. Anyhow, since I'm paying you so handsomely, your task will be everything. Everything? Yes, as you heard, everything! The rabbit spins around in place while laughing, almost as if she's just conquered the world. She points to you once more, striking another one of her poses. As you may have noticed, we have a few things that we need to get done before we can open up shop. We have to tidy up, clean, fix the tables, fix the chairs, and a lot more. So let's not delay, let's start right away. Also, no formalities about me being your boss. Wait, you want me to start right now? But of course! You think I brought you here to slack off? How dare you? But isn't it a bit too fast? Look, muscle dopey boy, I need an employee, and you needed an employer. Now we're both happy, right? Yes, boss. Call me boss again, and I swear I'll kick your... Yes, Jenny. Good. That was a close one. You fold easier than a shirt fresh out of the clothes dryer. The bunny seems enthusiastic to have you on board, smiling gleefully. Anyhow, is there anything we need to talk about before getting to work? Just one thing. In a couple hours I need to pick up a kid from school. Hope there's no problem. Perfectly fine with me, as long as we have everything ready for next Monday. We're all good. Thank goodness. Wait, next Monday? Alright, time to work! Let's start with something easy. Those planks are real eyesores, so go take them down while I start taking care of the cobwebs. There's a crowbar by the toolbox. Sure, on my way. You reach out to the boxes you left on the ground and find a long steel toolbox. You open it and are greeted by an assortment of hand tools in various states of wear. You don't recognize many of them, but crowbars are too iconic to overlook. You grab the hefty crowbar and make your way outside. The street the cafe is located on has begun to bustle with life as lunchtime approaches. It sure is busy around here. Jenny got a perfect spot for the cafe. You begin to pull the planks off with all your might. The nails are horrifically rusted, but many of them stay intact. You're careful to avoid damaging the glass underneath. Breaking one would definitely be docked from your pay. How are those windows looking, Chad? Do they have any holes or cracks in them? So far so good. After a nice wash, they'll be perfect. Nice! You continue removing all the outside planks one by one. As the last of the outside planks gets removed, you notice that the windows have wooden nails in them on the inside as well. You pile the planks in a small mound before heading inside. You enter the store, being careful with your steps. The place has seen better days. Want me to pull these in here as well? Would you kindly? Got it. It takes a few hours to remove all the slabs of wood, but soon they're all done and dusted. The afternoon sunlight peers from the now liberated windows, bathing the place in a hopeful glow. In this new light, the old bar shows its true potential, and you start to feel pretty excited about what may become of this place. Alright, I'm done. Anything else to do? Great, thanks! Tomorrow we'll paint the place, but before you can do that, I need you to move all the tables and chairs and organize them. The less space they occupy, the better. Plus, it'll make sweeping up the place a lot easier for me. Will do. While you're doing that, I'm gonna go grab some goods and then some lunch for us on the way back. Any requests? It'll be my treat for a job well done. Huh? Don't worry about me. Get whatever you want. Got it. Be right back. Jenny leaves the store, whistling on the way out. You're all alone in the bar, surrounded by broken wood, cobwebs, and tools. How are people so trusting of strangers in this town? She's known me for less than a day and she's already given me a job and left me to take care of the place. If she trusted anyone like this, it wouldn't surprise me if she got robbed. Or if she hired anyone else, maybe they'd be doing a better job than... You? What? You're startled by a couple laughing as they walk past the store. You try to snap out of whatever negative thoughts you were having, trying to focus on the work again. Let's get going. You close the door before carefully collecting some of the tables and chairs stacked on the side of the room. You do your best to pile up the tables and chairs into what begins to look like a large tower. Let's just agree architecture isn't your specialty. You turn to see one of the last tables staring you down from the opposite corner of the room. You slowly back away from your furniture masterpiece, checking to see that it won't tumble over. You're able to make it to the lone table and grab it. The sound of wood rattling and sliding catches your attention. Sure enough, a chair that was sitting on top of the tower is about to annihilate the packages. Shit, the boxes! I won't make it! You sprint to the other side of the room in an attempt to save the fragile packages. You're not sure if Jenny would be pissed off or depressed by the disaster unfolding before you. You stretch out your arm in vain, praying for something, anything else to happen. And strangely enough, something does happen. A jagged-looking hand made out of energy erupts out of your arm. Wait, what? The hand seems to move right under the falling chair, causing it to ricochet to the side of the fragile boxes. You're stunned by what you see. It's almost like a miracle happened before your eyes. Crack. The solid wooden chair rips right through the old flooring, creating a massive hole at the entrance. Shit. You can better make out this strange hand, but only for a second. It almost looks like it's made out of polygonal faces rather than being rounded like normal flesh. Before you can even move another inch, the hand fizzles up into the air. What was that? That wasn't natural, right? Did that come out of my hand? You cautiously look around the front and the back of your hand, but find nothing out of the ordinary. Did I cause that to happen? You limply try to recreate the exact same position your arm was in. That didn't work, but what if... You close your eyes and take a deep breath, imagining someone in front of you. You swiftly bring your arm back and punch the air with a straight shot. The fist of energy pierces the air, radiating from your knuckles. This one only extends a few centimeters in front of you and disappears like a puff of flame. What the? You lurch backwards, shocked by whatever the hell just happened. You trip on your own feet and collide with the table behind you, landing on the ground with a rough thud. Ouch. Should I see a doctor about this? You hear the doorknob turn and the door gets pushed forward, but it can barely open more than a crack. The chair from earlier has embedded itself into the now exposed ground in front of the door. Jenny peers through the now visible window, confused by the sight in front of her. Chad, is that you on the ground? Get up and open the door. I don't need you slacking off. Ugh. You manage to lift yourself up, but you feel physically taxed from what's happened. Chad? I'm coming. You approach the door and try to move the chair out of the emplacement. I don't think I can hide this. I can't wait to get scolded on my first day of work. The old wood splinters as the legs are pulled out of the ruined floor, a massive hole revealing dirt underneath. You can open the door now. Jenny pushes the door open slowly and looks down to see the shallow hole in the ground. Geez, what happened here? Sorry, A pouty face grows on Jenny. She crosses her arms and looks at you. I leave you for 1 hour, Chad. 1 hour. And this is what you do to my place? You bow your head in shame, feeling dejected for ruining another job opportunity. Nah, just kidding. Oh, what? The rabbit pats your shoulders with her free hand before chuckling lightly. This floor is an absolute mess. It's dangerous and, worst of all, ugly. I was going to ask you to tear it up next, so consider this a head start. I don't know what to even say. Did I scare you? Yeah. Sorry, that's just my kind of humor. Jenny goes past you and leaves her bags at the bar. You almost sounded like my boss. What was that? She shoots an evil glare at you. Feigning ignorance seems to be the best choice. Nothing. Anyways, I brought us something to eat. How about we take a break? With a show of gravitas, Jenny sweeps all the trash and dust off the counter and onto the floor with her hand. Jenny sits on top of the bar stools behind the counter. She looks at you and then the stool behind the counter, as if inviting you to take a seat across from her. Come on, don't be shy. Have a seat. Sure, thanks. So, I got you a sandwich, but I wasn't sure if you'd like it, so I just put everything on it. I figured you're a big guy, so you could use the extra meat and veggies. Thank you. I haven't had a sandwich from this place in forever. Really? Why's that, Chad? The last time I ate one of those was about 10 years ago. I'm not sure why I wouldn't have gone again. Are you saying that because you just didn't go? I never really got the chance to go there again. Jenny gives you a concerned look as she bites into her sandwich. She stays silent for a second before changing the subject. So, have you ever worked in a restaurant before? Nope. I don't really know what it would entail either. That might be a problem. But I'm a fast learner. I promise I'll do my best. Yeah, you better. My neck is on the line here. I'll teach you everything I know. I can't be picky about it, because you're helping me and I'm not paying you enough. You haven't even paid me anything yet. Hehe, I know, right? Anyways, hold on. Is there anything else you can do? Like, you're a man, right? You can do manly things and stuff. I don't want to sound stereotypical or sexist, but do you know any carpentry or woodworking? This place needs some thorough work that I can't really do myself. Yeah, I know a thing or two. My father... when I was younger, I was in the Scouts program, so we learned a lot about carpentry. Well, that's good enough for me. Before we talk about anything else, I want to thank you, Chad. Meeting you was the luckiest thing that happened to me today, and I can't wait to work with you some more. Same here, Jenny. Also, if my humor ever makes you uncomfortable, please let me know. My tastes can be a bit off-kilter. Sorry in advance. Yeah, will do. No worries. Cool. By the way, it's getting late, and didn't you have to pick up a kid from school? Yeah, it's around that time. I need to go grab Thony. Of course, but before you go, let's exchange phone numbers. Sure, let me just find it. You grab the smartphone from your pocket and unlock it, and find its phone number on your contacts list. She inputs your number under the contact name Sexy Muscle Dobie Boy, Double XL. You roll your eyes before chuckling. Also, here's today's payment. Go get yourself something nice. She hands you a few bills and winks at you. Whoa, $30? You're at a loss for words, considering you had to lug around some massive boxes, take down a bunch of barred windows, stack some heavy tables and chairs, all while working in a building that's basically a death trap. You're being paid like a king. Baby! Tomorrow, I'll need you here at 10 a.m., and try not to be late. Don't worry, I'll be here. See you tomorrow. Byes! You wave at Jenny as she stays behind, heading towards Thony's school once again. You can feel the money burning a hole in your pocket. I should get a treat for Kathy and Thony, but what would I get them? I know, I can grab them something on the way back. I told Thony I'd get him some ice cream if I remember right. You retrieve the money from your pocket and count it again, surprised by today's haul. You fold the bills into a small square. This should be enough too. Oh shit! Did he just trip? Your foot is caught on a small rock embedded into the ground, causing you to fall forward. The money flies out of your hands. You fall hard onto your belly, the concrete sidewalk feeling as comfortable as it looks. What do rocks have against you? Your little bundle of cash falls right into a storm drain. Wonderful. My god, Chad. Oh shit. You crawl into the large opening and stick your arm into the hole. No matter how much you try to reach the money, it's too far from your reach. Your heart sinks into your stomach. All your hard work has gone down the drain. Literally. What if? You quickly compose yourself as you remember what happened at the bar. Maybe you could use what you learned to your advantage. You move backwards a little and crouch over the drain, focusing on the bills, which are no more than a few centimeters from falling over the edge. Earlier, that magic hand thing seemed to be able to go no more than half a meter in front of you. That's more than enough to reach the money. You survey your surroundings and find the once busy street is remarkably quiet. This is your chance to do something. You focus on the bills and reach your arm out, but nothing happens. You try to remember what made it work last time. You peek your head from the storm drain once more and see no one. Alright, once more. You take a deep breath, relaxing yourself as much as possible while focusing on the small wad of money. You quickly swipe in front of you with your arm, imagining something falling from the air. The small palm-shaped hand of energy emits from your movements, lighting up the sewer in a bright flash. Whoa! The light blinds you for a second and you quickly crawl backwards. You sit down in front of the storm drain as you catch your breath. You look down at your clenched fist. You don't feel anything in there, but upon looking at the ground, the little paper squares sits in front of you. You smile with glee, happy to see your hard work wasn't lost. I can't believe that worked. But how? When did I start being able to do this? You see a bunch of young kids turn the corner, laughing and running down the sidewalk. Shit, Thony must be done with school by now. You quickly get off the ground and start jogging to Thony's school. Did he get the money? Greetings, Mr. Lorenzo. I'm here to pick up Thony. Hello there, Mr. The courteous old lion from earlier greets you with a confused gaze, adjusting his glasses as he looks you over. It's Chad, sir. We met this morning. Oh, right. You're here to pick up Mr. Reyes, yes? Yes, Mr. Reyes. All right, let me try to find him. Yo, Mr. Chad. Oh, here, I found him. The older lion and you chuckle lightly, seemingly amused by the kitten's perfect timing. Hmm? He surely did. What's up, Mr. Chad? Oh, it's nothing. Thank you very much, Mr. Lorenzo. See you tomorrow, Mr. Lorenzo. Likewise, have a wonderful evening, both of you, and say hello to your mother for me. Let's go meet up with Mom. She's probably selling cat feed at the park. All right. The two of you turn the corner and cross a few streets, finally arriving at the park's entrance. You two follow a similar path as before and are once again walking on the vantage point overlooking the city. It really is amazing from up here. I could stay here forever. I really like it here in Marimambo. It may not be as new as the other towns my friends go to, but there's so much to do here. Yeah. Look over there. We should go to the Ferris wheel one of these days. That would be pretty nice. It's been so long since I've been on it. I'm surprised it's still running after all these years. Oh hey, there's my mom. Mom! A small roar rings across the park, gaining Kathy's attention from far down the hill. Kathy looks in your direction, then waves with her hand. She seems to be talking to a customer, but it's impossible to tell who it could be from this far away. This way, Mr. Chad. Let's go. The kitten barrels down the hill mid-sentence. His tiny legs and the downward slope make him unstoppable. Wait, Thony! You chase after him. Oh crap. Thony sure is fast. I can barely keep up. Thony begins to slow down as he finally reaches Kathy, slowly crashing into her leg with a hug. She ruffles the top of his head lovingly as you arrive, finally able to see who she's talking to. Why? Oh hey Chad, thank you so much for picking up Thony. Yeah, no problem. So, Chad, Thony, this here is Frederick. He came here to apologize about yesterday. Hi. Hello. Thony looks at you as you stare down Fred. He buys me cat food all the time. This is the first time we finally got to chat considering everything that's happened. That's nice. You were right. Kathy's cat fees are pretty good. Yeah, they're delicious. I always try to get one from her whenever I'm able to. Why, thank you. I'm glad you like them. Wow, Mr. Frederick sure is big. Do you and Mr. Chad go to the same gym? No, we don't. Yeah, that can't be. Thony pokes you. Hey. Thony pokes Fred. Whoa there, buddy. Thony, stop doing that. Kathy gives him a light bonk on the head. Yow! Oh god, that little... Thony lets out a small kitten's cry out of his mouth. It's kinda cute. Sorry, but yes, my analysis is complete. Based on my deductions, you can't go to the same gym because Chad seems to be physically stronger than you, Mr. Frederick. That's the conclusion you reached? I definitely have to show Thony the rest of the Phoenix Wright games. Hehe, well, that's because a long time ago, Mr. Chad here used to be really... Excuse me? You interject before another word could be spoken. The mere mention of your past riles you up inside. Thony pokes Kathy. As you can see, my mom's really squishy, so that means that she's fat. Kathy bonks Thony again. Mom! Come on, what were you saying, She's fat? What? She's The small kitten stutters, fearing the wrath of Kathy. Far stronger than you guys! Thony smiles nervously, gritting his teeth in hidden fear. Of course I am. The cat smirks at the kitten, who breathed a sigh of relief. I don't think Thony had much of a choice on what to say. Anyways, thank you, Frederick. I'll text you tonight so that we can get ready for tomorrow. Sounds good to me, ma'am. Alright, team. We should get going. See you later, Fred. Goodbye, ma'am. Bye, Mr. Frederick. See ya, buddy. Just say bye, Chad. Don't be so... See you later, Chad. Bye. Yeah. Fred begins to walk away disheartened as his shoulders slump. Alright, everyone. Let's go home. So, Chad, how did today go? Yeah, Mr. Chad. How was your day? Oh, So, after I dropped Thony at school... You go on to explain today's events while walking, mentioning everything but your weird magic hand. The three of you make it past the park and into Thony's neighborhood, arriving in front of the familiar brown door. Kathy walks inside, followed by the kitten. You close the door behind you as you enter. With the three of you inside, you all congregate in the living room and begin to unwind. So your shift starts at 10 a.m.? Yeah, so I should still be able to drop Thony at school. Really? Thony jumps with joy, ecstatic at the news. Are you sure? I can take him to school. I don't want to burden you too much. Yeah, why not? My job is just 2 streets away from Thony's school. Alright, thank you for the help, Chad. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chad. And before you say anything, Mom, I'll go take a bath. See ya! Thony gives Kathy a quick hug before running off to the hallway. Well, that's a first. I usually have to beg him to take a bath. Are you influencing my son, Chad? Haha, don't worry. I'm just kidding. How about you go relax for a bit while I get dinner ready? I can help you with dinner instead. Sure, if you want. That way I can prepare for tomorrow. Kathy signals for you to come close. You move your ear close to her mouth. Psst. Keep this between us, Chad. Tomorrow is Thony's birthday, and I'm planning a surprise for him. Oh, really? Okay, won't say a word. Thank you, sweetheart. Sweetheart? That's nice. So, do you have any experience in making coffee? I know how to make instant coffee. Does that count? Kinda? But it's best to know as much as you can if you're going to be working at a cafe. I think Jenny might also teach me as well, but I'm actually not sure how it's going to work out over there. Am I gonna be a waiter, or will I also have to make coffee? Actually, what are we even going to sell? Well, no matter what you have to do, the more you know, the better. While we're working on dinner, I can teach you the basics. You do that? Of course! I think you'd be good at it. Plus, it's a token of appreciation for taking care of Thony today. I should be the one who's appreciative. So, where do we begin? Alright, so, first things first. You first help Kathy bring out the ingredients for tonight's dinner, a nice hearty beef stew with veggies. You help prepare the vegetables on the cutting board, while she sautés some garlic and onions in a pot. Carefully, you cue the piece of steak as Kathy begins to assemble her seasonings. A savory smell fills the room as she begins to stir-fry the meat, the hot oil crackling loudly. After stirring in some broth and the rest of the ingredients, Kathy lets the mixture simmer in a pot. You can't help but drool at the wonderful concoction. Alrighty, while we're waiting for the stew to finish, let's take some time to learn about making coffee. You nod and take a seat at the kitchen counter as Kathy grabs 3 brown bags from a cupboard. The hefty bags are intimidating at first. You're almost unsure what to expect, even though you know full well you're learning to make coffee. Let's begin. So, I've arranged these bags from lightest to strongest roasts, starting with this one. But before I explain the differences, you need to know that coffee beans are grown throughout the globe in different conditions. Even if you have the exact same beans, the coffee can taste drastically different, depending on how the beans have been roasted. That being said, let's start from the top. Kathy taps the bag that she mentioned earlier, which sits to the left of the 3 bags. This is the lightly roasted Ethiopian blend. If you pay close attention when you're drinking it, there are light floral overtones with some hints of citrus and honey. Coffee has its own tastes. I thought what gave it taste was what you added to it. Serves me right for just guzzling it down without thinking twice. Lighter blends tend to be more acidic, with a brighter mouthful and even some nice tingling as you're drinking it. As the roasts get darker, the acidity mellows out quite a bit. Take this bag for example. Lighter roasts also tend to have more caffeine than darker roasts. The more the beans are roasted, the less caffeine they'll have left. Returning back to espresso, they tend to use much lighter roasts, if I'm not mistaken. Kathy seems to scratch her chin in a contemplation before snapping back to attention. I think I read that a normal medium roast coffee has roughly 20 milligrams of caffeine per ounce. That seems alright, but that's child's play compared to espresso that has around 100 milligrams per ounce. What? That's a freaking energy drink. Kathy seems to smile at your bemusement. Yeah, that's why people use tiny cups. If you drink a mug full of espresso, you might lose your mind. Or die. Anyways, let's get back on track. As the roasts get darker, the acidity mellows out quite a bit. Take this bag for example. Kathy pats the bag in the center in an almost loving way. It's partially opened and noticeably bigger than the other 2. This is the medium roasted Colombian blend, and it is my personal choice for my Kathy recipe. It has a perfect balance of light acidity and smoother accents. This blend pairs perfectly with more chocolatey and nutty flavors. It's almost perfect in my opinion, and most customers seem to agree. It has been by far the most successful roast to date, and I love it more than life itself. Kathy takes a small pause as she smiles nervously. You nod in acknowledgement all the information she's given thus far, along with her unquenchable love for Colombian roasts. Kathy flashes a proud smile as she continues with her lecture, her hand landing on the final bag to the right. This last bag is a dark roasted Sumatran blend. It has little to no acidity and a much fuller mouthful. It almost blankets your mouth with its deep, rich blend. It's a pretty heavy-tasting coffee that pairs well with more chocolatey flavors and cheeses. Blue cheese is great at bringing out the more savory aspects of this blend. You grimace almost instantly at that thought, your nose scrunching up at the thought of blue cheese with coffee. Kathy can't help but chuckle at your displeasure. Everyone thinks the same thing, but don't knock it till you try it. Give me a minute while I prepare you a cup. This will show you the preparation process in more detail than just trying to explain it. She turns away from the kitchen island and walks towards the same cupboard as earlier. She opens a door and grabs a weird-looking tool and a glass flask that almost looks like an oversized potion bottle. Well, I know what she's using. She walks over and places the two contraptions on the countertop. The glass flask has a wide opening at the top with a thick fabric cone surrounding the rim. The other tool seems to be a grinder of some sort, but not like anything you've seen before. So, this is a hand-operated coffee grinder. It is a vital tool to consistently give the right grind for your coffee. I tend to do a pour-over method, which is what the flask is here for, but first I need to get a much coarser grinder than usual. This will allow for the hot water to pass through and coat the coffee more evenly. Having placed the items on the counter, Kathy heads on over to the stove and grabs a tea kettle. She lifts up the lid and pours water into it at the sink. After a few seconds, the metal kettle seems to be partially filled. She gently places it onto a stove and turns the knob to her left. It only takes a few clicks until a blue flame encircles the bottom of the tea kettle. She merely walks back to you and picks up her favorite bag of Colombian coffee. She gives it a small kiss as she opens up the bag, grabbing a nearby measuring spoon and carefully getting the perfect amount of beans for the grinder. You watch as she prepares the coffee with a near clinical precision. Every scoop into the grinder is perfectly level. Every turn of the handle is calculated and measured. Every scent that fills your nose is exquisite. She takes out a spoonful of the ground-up coffee and carefully brings it to your face. See what I mean by a coarser grind? It's not as refined as the one you'd use in an espresso machine. For that, we'd need a much finer blend so the hot water can be pressed through it at high pressures. That's how you get such a strong shot of espresso. It's a large amount of fine coffee in such a small cup. You nod while taking a mental notes. You had no idea so much thought and care was taken just to make a cup of coffee. As she lovingly scoops the right amount of ground of coffee into the filter, she turns around and grabs the kettle right as it's about to start hissing. Was she keeping track of it this whole time? She turns off the stove and brings forth the kettle with a joyful hum. Water temperature is super important. If the water isn't hot enough, a lot of the flavors will remain in the beans. However, if the water is too hot or you let it sit in the beans for too long, you might burn the coffee. Just make sure not to burn yourself either. Kathy takes a quick breath and starts slowly pouring the piping hot water in a methodical fashion. She circles the pouring water around the filter and onto the grounds, making sure not to pour too much at once. You're surprised by how much care she's taking into pouring. It's almost like she's painting a work of art. Can't you just pour it in all at once? It's vital that you take it nice and easy, pouring in a circular motion. The most dangerous part of making coffee is getting burned. If you put too much water in at once, it might overflow and spill all over you. Your safety and the safety of others will always be more important than a simple cup of coffee. As for the circular motions, it's important because it evenly soaks the grind. This will give you a more even and consistent flavor profile. You nod slowly, almost hypnotized by the wafting aromas and the smooth motion of the tea kettle. Soon enough, Kathy has finished the delicate pouring process. Dark, rich coffee continues to drip onto the bottom of the flask as she returns the kettle back onto the stove. Kathy smiles as she turns to you. You never want to rush good coffee. The two of you eagerly watch the flask, waiting for the last little drips to join the pool of dark goodness. Kathy grabs the fabric filter and squeezes any last drops out of it, giving the small package a couple pats before placing it on a plate. I usually never throw out coffee grounds. They're amazing for gardens since they're packed full of nutrients. Plants love them and they're great to add in soil, you know? You tilt your head, surprised by the prospect. Usually you just toss them in the trash. Maybe you should try saving them for Kathy's sake. And now, le grand finale. Kathy grabs some small containers from the pantry along with a set of mugs. She grabs the steaming flask and pours some coffee into the mugs, managing to empty out the flask as the second mug is perfectly filled. This is where the real magic happens. A dash of hazelnut cream, a spoon of brown sugar, a drizzle of honey, and some mint. Voila! 1 cup of cat feet ready and waiting. I hope my demonstration helped you out some, Chad. It seems daunting at first, but I know that you can make a great cup if you give it a try. The cat stirs the coffee with a spoon before handing you one of the mugs. You blow on it a little and take a sip. Absolutely perfect. I already know you like it, sweetie, and the good news is that the food is finished. Thony, dinner's ready. God, this is so nice. I definitely learned more than a thing or two. Thanks, Kathy. I'm sure it'll be helpful. No problem, sweetie. Maybe one of these days you can keep me company while I'm selling coffee, if you have time, that is. Yes, that would be fun. Awesome. A few silent moments pass by, both of you growing hungrier by the second. Thony! That's weird. Chad, can you go and check Thony? Sure. He didn't get kidnapped, did he? You step out of the kitchen and into the dimly lit hallway. Near the end of the hall, you find a door with bright animal stickers and the words Thony's Fort. Cute. You knock on the door rhythmically, but are met by silence. Thony, dinner's ready. Anthony? You press open the door, your heart pounding. Is he okay? The room is pitch black, no lights and no sound. The dim light from the hallway pierces the room, illuminating the room ever so slightly. I just saw that as that placeholder. You see Thony laying in his bed, facing up to the ceiling with headphones in his ears. You flick the room's light switch, startling the poor kitten. Hey, what's up, Mr. Chad? Dinner's ready, boy. Let's go get something to eat. Oh, alright, let's go. Well, Mr. Chad, The kitten stammers around, unsure of what to say for some reason. What's up, little buddy? Before it's too late, I wanted to tell you about my Once more, Thony seems to start and stop a sentence before going silent. What do you want to tell me? Is everything okay? I wanted to tell you about my day at school. Thony smiles nervously. He's acting like he's in between a rock and a hard place, and you don't have a clue as to why. Okay. How was your day at school? It was okay. Before he can continue, Thony bounces up off his bed, throwing the headset onto his pillow. He rushes past you out the door, closing it behind you. What was that all about? You make your way out of the room, paranoia beginning to gnaw at the back of your mind. A wonderfully warm scent hits your nose as you walk into the living room. All right, take a seat, boys. Today's dish of the night is beef stew. You sit next to Thony, who seems voraciously hungry, digging into his food the second he gets it. The warm steam from the bowl fills your nostrils, making your heart swell with joy. Sweet, I haven't had stew in forever. Really? Well, stew is my favorite dish this time of year, so get ready to have your fill. I can't wait. You smile warmly as you're about to take a spoonful. That being said, when was the last time you had stew? You pause with the spoon inches from your mouth, putting it down as you travel deep in thought. Both of them look at you patiently, expecting some form of answer. I don't really want to go there, and I haven't known them long enough. That doesn't really matter. The stew is delicious. You haven't even tried it. Busted. I mean, that's what I can tell from the delicious smell. Kathy stares you down with a mild smirk. She's only slightly amused. When it comes to stew, homemade is the only way to go. You can taste the love when someone who cares about you makes it. What does love taste like? I imagine it's kinda salty. Oh yeah, I agree. To be honest, everything you've made me so far has made me feel happy and warm. Love is the secret ingredient that can never be replicated. My grandma used to make the best stew, and she would always make it when I had a bad day. Sometimes I would come home with tears in my eyes, and there my grandma would be, with 2 bowls in her hands. Before she died, she gave me her recipe, but no matter how many times I try to make it like she did, it just doesn't taste the same. Stew really is one of those foods that lets you really know the person who made it. It's almost like a piece of their soul is in every bowl. Did you have someone special who made it for you? Yeah, I used to go to my friend's house when I was little. And his mom always used to be really sweet and caring with me, almost like a second mom. So she always used to serve us stew for dinner. And I always remember all of us laughing when we ate it. There was never a sad moment when we were all eating together. Good old times. I haven't thought about her in a while. Just remembering those days is kind of overwhelming. Oh, I see. She sounds like a good woman. She really was. Was? Well, I don't know. She was sick at the time. Your voice cracks a little. And I haven't seen her since I've been away. Where were you? Why do I keep thinking about the past? A part of you wants to open the floodgates and talk about everything that happened 3 months ago, but you just can't bring yourself to speak of it. I don't think I'm ready for anyone to know. Not yet. Away from her. That's what I meant. It's because Chad, honey, I didn't mean to put you on the spot. I'm sorry. We know talking about these kinds of things is hard, so please don't feel obligated to tell us anything you don't want. Really? Yeah, we understand. Don't worry, Mr. Chad. Thanks. That being said, go ahead and eat your stew. It tastes so much better when it's piping hot. Eat now, talk later. Kathy shines a warm smile as she motions towards your bowl. You feel a little embarrassed, but you finally take a spoonful of the stew. The 3 of you munch on the delicious dish, grumbling in approval as your plates grow empty. This was amazing. Thank you, Kathy. Thanks, Mom. Don't just thank me. Thank you, Chad. I might have you help me with dinner from now on. Thank you, Mr. Chad. Let's go play some, Mr. Chad. I'll get the controllers ready. The small kitten pulls you from your seat. You happily make your way to the corridor. Hold your horses, mister. Eek. It's too late to play video games. It's time for bed. Chad also has work tomorrow, so he has to get some rest, and so do you. But I wanted to play too. Did I make myself clear? All right. The last thing I want is for Kathy to be mad at me. Good. Now I'll clean up while the both of you go to your rooms and get ready to sleep. Thony looks a little disappointed. We can play tomorrow, Thony. Don't worry, buddy. Alright. Well, kid, have a good night. It's though. Never mind. Good night, Mr. Chad. Thony goes to his room and closes the door. Damn, that really knocked the wind out of his sails. I'll go to that place tomorrow. I hope to find my old Nintendo DS. I know it's undercutting Kathy's authority, but I think it'd be nice to let him play with it at night. He can easily hide it under his pillow if he gets caught. Just like I used to. Alrighty. Good night, Kathy. Thanks for the food and sleep well. No worries, Chad. Please get some rest and sleep tight. If you need anything, just knock on my door. Alright, thanks. You make your way down the hallways to your bedroom, closing the door behind you and rushing to the bathroom. I can't hold it anymore. You unzip and throw your jeans to the floor. Ah, waited all day for this. Did you just pop a squat? You wash your hands as a calm washes over you, the relief being a reward in and of itself. You know holding it in for so long is unhealthy, right? Oh dear lord. You return to your room. You walk over to the small bedside lamp before turning off the room's light switch. With the room dimly lit, you take off your shirt. It feels wonderful to finally be able to let loose again. The soft blanket rubs against your fur as you crawl into bed. Finally. God, this is so nice. You reach over and turn the lamp's switch, examining the back of your hand in the warm light. What on earth happened today? Do I have powers? You roll onto your back, staring at the now pitch black ceiling. When did I get it? Or have I always had it? And why did it show up all of a sudden? I mean, I'm really glad it did because I would have been screwed if the chair had destroyed those boxes. There's no way I imagined it, and it happened twice. But how does it work? It seems to will itself into existence when I focus hard enough, but that doesn't answer why it started showing up now. I may need to practice with it later. But I need to do it in secret. The last thing I need is to become a circus act. Or worse yet, a science experiment. The thought of you being sliced open while strapped onto a surgery table sends a chill up your spine. You take a deep breath and try to think about something else. These past few days have been crazy. It's hard to believe it's only been 2 days since I got fired. It would take weeks to process everything that happened that day. I'm still not over that weird guy in the bushes. What even happened? Did something even happen or did I imagine all of that? And since when have my dreams been so fucking weird? First it was that cliff dream, and then that one where I was chained up to a wall. They felt so real, almost as if they were memories, but they couldn't have happened. I'm still alive. Each one ended with me being dead. Speaking of being dead, what the hell did Fred mean by what he said? That idiot, that asshole, that... What happened to us? Why did things end up like this? As your eyes begin to grow heavy, you are met by the sun's warm glow, the rustling of windswept grass, his golden fur pressed up against yours. The smile you've seen 1,000 times. Frederick. You begin to open your eyes. Everything's dark. As you slowly regain consciousness, you can hardly notice a figure standing right in front of you. Where am I? Who are you? All the strength you had to say those few words were enough to drain all the energy that was left on your body. You feel yourself fading away from reality as you begin to close your eyes once more. To be continued. Ooh. Well, that was the end of the update for Home Somewhere Else. So, what did you guys think? It's nice that Chad finally has a job. that and apparently a job that he is what's the word? That I mean, that's a good job that isn't just like, oh, he's doing it for the money. It seems like this might be a bit more enjoyable for him, I guess. I don't know how to say it. But yeah. And again, we got to meet his old friend or frenemy, I don't know, Frederick. And it's nice that they did like end up fighting, but yeah, the poor guy. I kind of feel that Chad may be over, like overstating whatever it is that happened in their past, and that might be laying on to poor Frederick a little bit too harshly. But then again, I don't know what actually happened, so, I guess we're gonna have to find out later. But it seems that even now that he's a little sad that they're even fighting, so, Also, I'm still very curious what's up with, Thony's dad. I'm still of a mind to think that he's, I don't know, some mob-related person, and as soon as he gets home, that shit's gonna hit the fan with Kathy and Chad. That, things are not gonna be good. So, as much as I want things to go good for Chad, I'm pretty sure they're not. So, yikes. But anyways, well, yeah. So, thank you all for watching / listening. If you would like to play Home Zomewhere Else for yourself, there will be a link down in the description. If you would like to support the project, there will be a link for their Patreon. And if you would like to follow the Twitter for, updates, then I will put a link down for that too. And I guess that's it for now, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye. Te comiste mis salchipapas, hijo de tu chingada madre!